Hello. Right, what I want you to do today is I want you to go and do some research, and I want you to make a glossary that allows you to use technical terms as much as you can and as confidently as you can. So your glossary may have the word, have a definition, and then have some examples from some of our poems, okay? So use them to go back to your poems and start to make links, okay? And find examples for each of those techniques, all right? So here are your words. I'll write them in the description box as well, but I might tell you a little bit about them as I go through, okay? So your first term is dramatic monologue, okay? Dramatic monologue. So find out what that means, and you might think about My Last Duchess when you think about a dramatic monologue. Blank verse, okay, blank verse, a type of writing where you kind of get a sense of internal thoughts and you're following someone's ideas almost as randomly as your brain does that thinking thing. A sonnet is a traditional form of love poetry, but what are the rules of a sonnet? What are the structures of a sonnet, and why would people like Shelley use a sonnet to write Ozymandias? Stanza, not a paragraph, okay? Never write paragraph in a poetry essay. They're stanzas, okay? So what is a stanza, and how are they created, and why are they created? What do they do for the structure, for the movement of that poem? Lineation. Lineation is an interesting one. So how the poet has chosen to put words on different lines, okay? And you might notice some lines are longer, some are shorter, some stop, some jump, some are indented. So lineation. Enjambment and caesura, so they work together. Enjambment, okay, go and find what that is, and the sense of flow that comes from enjambment. Caesura, that kind of gives a stop and pause, and a bit of drama and thinking time. The classic ones, rhyme, rhythm or meter. Okay, so what are they? What's rhyme, and what sorts of rhyme can you have? Half rhyme, rhyming couplets, rhyming triplets, alternate rhyme, kind of a sense of jarring rhyme. Is there a rhyme that's at the end of lines, rhyme in the middle of lines? Okay, so how can rhyme work? Rhythm and meter, so if you think about the flow, the syllable count, all those sorts of things, the speed that you get from rhythm, the repetitiveness you might get from rhythm, or the randomness that you might get. You might start thinking about different sorts of rhythms, like the iambs and the iambic tetrameter and pentameter and all those sorts of things. Why would poets choose different meters for different poems and different meanings? Any sorts of phonology. Now, phonology comes from sound, phone, telephone, all of those phonics, sound. So any sound effects, so you might find things like onomatopoeia, alliteration, sibilance, fricative, plosives. There are loads of phonology techniques that you could find, okay? So phonology. Narrative voice. Narrative voice is a key one, and the idea of who's speaking your poem. Is it a narrator? Is it a person? Is it first person, second person, third person? How does that work? Does it shift? And why did the poet choose that narrative voice? Imagery. Imagery is important and can be made in many different ways. Similes and metaphors and personification and anthropomorphism. There are lots of different ways to create imagery, and it might be just the lexical field that someone's choosing that gives us a sense of an image in our head. Okay. Register. Register is about formality and sort of the tone of the voice that you're hearing. So register, you might say in Checking Out My History, is really colloquial, it's really informal, it's almost in dialect, and so the register is quite different to something that's a bit more formal. And tone is your last word, okay? Tone, so the idea that the choices the writers are making create a whole tone for that poem, a sense of mood, a sense of atmosphere for the poem, okay? So there's your words. Go and make your glossary, all right, and try and find examples from the poem so that you're starting to draw things together through the methods that the writers are using. Okay, well done. See you soon. Bye.